'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years alive. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Joe?
Yeah.
Huh?
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1787, May 28th, 2026. 100 degrees, the record high in this state just a few years ago, 2018. And it was 36 degrees at some time during the day on this day in 1965. Call Josh Arnold, which was a hell of a music year. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
May I continue a topic that we just had going on the council, the town council? May I have our author's corner signature introduction, please?
You may have author's corner because I'm glad that you asked.
Well, I wonder which one he'll choose because there's so many to choose from.
It's always a delicate.
Yeah.
It's time to jam with the mayor of GL with another Author's Corner.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of Garage Logic, it's time for another segment of Author's Corner with Joe Soucheray.
All right, thanks. That's
Author's
it.
Corner.
Stop. Stop with it.
Kenny's not wearing pants.
I just finished a book called Theo of Golden by a guy named Alan Levy, and a retired judge. Theo is a guy, is the name of a fellow who shows up in the town of Golden, Georgia. No one in town knew him, know anything about him. And he does nothing but acts of kindness throughout the book. Not even in a cliched way. He has a very unique way of demonstrating kindness to people he's never met. And I was pleased to learn you're not reading it, but what the hell, you're at least listening to it.
Yes, it was our trip to Nebraska. My wife, so she didn't have to talk to me, decided to go an audiobook.
Well, Theo...
No, it's really good. I like the book a lot.
Theo is Portuguese. So I'm curious, is the voiceover of Theo...
yes, it is
a little accent?
Yes, the narrator does have an accent when he's not reading the...
what is this Portuguese guy, 86 years old, doing in Golden, Georgia?
How was he met by the locals? What did they think of him? Do we know?
Curiously.
Some were instantly friendly. Some were standoffish.
That's my town. We'd wonder what the hell his deal is.
Some, but everyone warmed up to him immensely.
And he just says he has some business to tend to.
Yeah, I'm in town because I have some business to take care of, and no one presses on that. And he befriends almost from day one a local fellow who is in the trust business, and he takes care of confidentiality.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the book owner who's out.
No,
who's
that's
always going to
Tony.
go out of business.
That's
If I
Tony.
don't sell the book, I'm going out of business.
Tony's got a bookstore on Main Street, and if you don't buy a book, man, I'd have got another week to go here.
I know guys like that. Buy a tire, please.
So what we know, what we can gather at the outset is that this Theo fellow has some wealth he either wants to protect or not have anybody know about it, not for nefarious purposes. He just loves his anonymity. And so no one in town really knows who this guy is, except he makes himself so public and so available. He's established a routine where he's always seen on Main Street, and he befriends everyone, including a homeless woman, and not in a cliched way. Have you met Ellen yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And she only has a bicycle that she calls the Noble Invention because she got that from a novel she read that Theo happened to also read.
I got the thick throat when she talked about her greatest day ever.
Well,
I couldn't barely
I understand.
drive. Yeah.
You okay, now having said that, I can assure you there is nothing. I kept turning the page waiting for some bleep to hit the fan. I kept turning the page wondering, well, when is the cruelty of the world going to set in? When are the rash behaviors of people going to befall us? And there is one brief incident of that coming, and it's very consequential.
Okay.
But it's the only one in the whole book. So
How long has he been doing a radio show waiting for the other shoe to drop?
I think
When is
that's
all
a product of the books he usually reads, and then, of course, the world right
no,
now.
the world is a mess.
Yeah,
the world is cruel and unjust. And here is this 350-page book where I kept, and it finally dawned on me, that's not going to happen. It's almost like a fantasy. This guy is so heavenly. Well, see what she wants. This guy is so.
When you discovered that and figured out that part, did you really lean in then, and you really started loving it? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but I'll answer you in a different way. Because the point I wanted to make is I know many people who are aware of the book, some of whom gave it 20 pages and said, the hell with this. They didn't like it.
That sounds like me, Joe.
Okay, they didn't like it. Other people who read it to its ending and still just thought it mediocre, which was shocking to me. No, I got to a certain point where I began to revel in the goodness of this guy. I just couldn't believe it. It was it's just amazing, and he was good in all the right ways. There was nothing cliched. He wasn't looking for attention. Nothing. And the ending.
What's that like?
And the ending is a big surprise.
Oh,
and you have that awaiting you.
I think I'm on chapter 35.
Well, I don't know how many chapters there are, but you have a wonderful discovery.
My wife's been through it already.
Well,
she
are you
loved the
guessing
book.
who this guy might be? See, I at one point I guessed he was a reformed mafioso.
Oh, really?
That turns out that I'm not giving anything away, but he is not a reformed mobster.
But it is revealed what he.
Oh, big time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that in a roundabout way giving something away? That he's not something that someone might think?
No, because no one would ever. I didn't guess it.
Oh.
No one would ever guess what he was. Really.
I'm reading the synopsis, and I know
Well,
what.
don't say it if it reveals the ending.
It doesn't reveal the ending, but it reveals what he does for these town people.
Oh, he does.
Townspeople, and I don't know if we should talk about it or not.
Well, you're not giving away things.
No.
Well, don't talk about it.
All right, I won't.
In the event people want to read it, some people I know, I can look at them and I can just tell they're not a candidate for this. They're not going to, because of we're so used to doom and gloom. We're so used to cruelty in the world. We're so used to people not being like this that it's off-putting to keep reading this and thinking, what the hell's going on here?
I've got an example, and it's in the news today. The CIA guy with all the gold.
Yeah,
I've already got Joe. I've got that novel written already in my head from beginning to end. Who the bad guys are, who the good guys are. I've got the whole thing done in my head. So you're right. Yeah, I don't know if I could read something like this. Maybe.
Well, I purposely seek out these books to keep myself from constantly reading Jack Carr all my life. Or
Not that there's anything wrong with
no,
Jack.
I love Jack. In fact, last night I started his new one, The Fourth Option.
There we go.
So I'm back into the groove now of gunfire.
You know what you have to
car
do?
chases
You have to cleanse your palate.
I did. I cleansed my palate.
I do that with nonfiction and history and stuff like that. That's how I do it. Yeah.
But here's how weird this book is. There's no bad guys.
Oh, you got to have a bad guy.
There's no bad guys.
No,
There is a brief.
no buxom blonde.
There is a brief flurry of just the saddest. I don't even want to go that.
My name's
far.
John Bansley.
Saddest violence. There's a brief flurry of it. And
Matthew, why are you still engaged in the book? What's keeping you?
Let me answer that for you. He would be amenable to this kind of thing. I could look at him and say, "Yeah, you're a candidate. You can't read, but you're listening to it."
Yeah.
He's hopelessly optimistic.
Yes. He's hopelessly optimistic.
Bring it down the averages.
And he's hopelessly happy. So he
can
you're
always
finding
find good.
great warmth in this, aren't you?
Twice she said, "You want to go back to the book?" And I said, yes, immediately, because it had caught my attention.
So you're like, I got to go get a bag of ice, and then the trip to the bag of ice took 2 hours because you're sitting in the parking lot listening to this book.
I just have a couple of questions.
Go.
if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I do mind.
In
because,
the 30 some years that the two of you have worked together.
Okay, you're bringing something up that I was going to save, so you had already closed this part out. But I think you and I are on the same page here. Something has just happened on GL that has never happened before.
I understand that you recommended a book to Matthew. Matthew, how many times?
No. I never recommended this to him.
Oh.
I was surprised to learn that he had discovered it.
Okay,
Chris, what has happened is they have just had an honest, true discussion about a book that they both
That's where I was going.
Wow. That has never happened. It's always been Matthew mocking Joe and Joe angry at Matthew.
That's what I was getting
That's
at.
34 years.
Yes.
If you include sports talk, it's been since
So,
90.
Kenny, we were driving to the same drag race. We just took different routes.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I would love to hear from GLers who said didn't like it, and I would love to hear from GLers who said they liked it. If, in fact, there are GLers listening who have it's been a New York Times bestseller. I think it became that word of mouth. For example, just what we're saying about it.
Sure.
I heard about it from one of my sisters, and it sat on the shelf for a while before I got to it. Now I'm done with it, and I just thought it was miraculous. Miraculous.
The other question I had.
Yeah.
Matthew, you said audiobook. Are you still pursuing that?
Good afternoon and welcome to Author's Corner on Garage Logic. This afternoon in the corner, we have #1 New York Times best-selling phenomenon, Vince Flynn. Mitch Rapp. What will happen to him this time? This Author's Corner includes excerpts from a very professional announcer who is available to fill the audiobook with Vince Flynn. Joe.
We just
Why
couldn't get...
Doesn't it go on? Doesn't it talk about his stomach was rumbling
That
because he forgot to eat lunch?
That's right. I got to find that one.
We couldn't get through an author's corner without it devolving
No.
into that.
And we just had an author's corner where Rookie was stone cold silent and agreeing because he's reading the book. Yeah. That's amazing.
You
That
see
is
what
a first.
reading can do for you, Matthew?
That's a first.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to being dumb again. Flowers for Algernon.
As Mitch walked to the department door of the terrorist, he could see there was a wire.
The terrorist.
Everything in the building fell silent. except for his stomach. It was growling. He'd forgotten to eat lunch and wondered when his next meal would be. As he disconnected the wire, he went into the terrace apartment and found some leftover pizza.
Jesus.
He ate it and waited for the terrorist that he would get.
Wait a minute.
That he would get.
Yeah, so the terrorist was waiting for the terrorist while he ate pizza.
He left over pizza.
Got it.
It's like Pulp Fiction almost when Bruce Willis goes back to his apartment to get the watch.
So
and he
Flint-
puts a Pop-Tart in.
Flynn comes in studio. Here's Matthew trying to get the audiobook gig, and that's the
let me down
production
big time.
that we presented to him.
Kenny mentioned this CIA officer who was accused of stealing 300 gold bars. A former CIA senior officer with top secret level clearance has been accused of secretly stashing millions of dollars in gold bars in his house. He said he needed it for work expenses. Trump could understand that.
I
Let him
Joe,
go.
I 100% believe the guy. 100%.
David Rush is his name. He held a management position. He was charged with criminal theft of public money in a complaint filed last week in the Eastern District of Virginia. He was also accused of lying to his employers about his background for nearly 2 decades. Asked about Rush's case, a CIA spokesperson said the FBI that the FBI had arrested a person from a referral from the agency. After a CIA internal investigation identified potential violations, CIA Director John Ratcliffe referred the information to the FBI. The FBI is working with our partners in the CIA and the Department of Justice as we continue to investigate this matter fully. I don't trust the Department of Justice anymore. We are committed to following the facts, ensuring accountability, and pursuing justice in accordance with the law. I think, like Kenny, I'm going to be on this guy's side.
Yeah.
If the Department of Justice is after him,
Just take away from what's happening right now. Just think of all the novels you've read. How would you write this? If you know ahead of time that the guy's going to be innocent, how would you write this? Who are the bad guys right away? Just from what you've read so far, who are the bad guys?
the government people,
Yeah, definitely his boss, the CIA director.
the Justice Department.
So you'd have to somehow have him justify taking the gold.
He was working on something big, and we all know if you read spy novels that you've got to pay these guys off in gold and cars and cash and jewelry, stuff like that. That's how you pay these people off.
I guess he faked his college degrees.
That's normal.
And
So I got in here.
Yeah.
He said that he was cleared to fly. He does not have a certificate or a pilot's license.
But he can fly.
He
Interesting.
made several requests for funds, including for foreign currency and tens of millions of dollars in gold bars, which the morons gave to him, apparently.
Again, the
In
government.
a storage space near his office, investigators found only a portion of the funds. On May 18, feds searched Rush's home and seized 300 gold bars worth more than $40 million.
Wow.
Court documents said. Agents also seized about $2 million in U.S. currency and 35 luxury watches, mostly Rolexes. Mm-hmm. The affidavit alleges Rush knowingly took part of the money he requested for work-related expenses to his home for personal gain. The court filing does not specify which agency employed Rush, but the two people familiar with his employment history said he was with the CIA. So there's lots going on out there we don't know anything about.
He's paying off sources in Iran and Kuwait and all the Middle Eastern countries.
Well, this new guy I'm raving about, Mark Greaney, who was in the Jack Carr School of former SEAL writes thrillers. And Greaney's guy is a disgraced CIA official.
Sure.
Who has been cut loose from the CIA. In fact, in these incredible adventures his protagonist gets into, half his enemies are his own people. Mm-hmm. The CIA, who has a shoot to kill order on the guy if they ever find him.
Yeah.
And of course, he gets away. He just is a miracle. He could escape anything. His eyeballs hanging out, his arms broken. He's bleeding from every orifice.
Like
and
a
he's
Clint
still
Eastwood
rescuing
movie.
people.
Yeah.
It's just but somehow Greenie manages to make that sound not over the top. It is clearly jumping the shark or over the top, but he pulls it off. It off. So anyway, that's a lot of book stuff, and the CIA fits right in there with gold bars. Wow, that's fun. It's
40
fun.
million worth of gold bars.
What do you do with a gold bar, though? Do you take it to the bank?
It's not like you can trade it for.
Yeah, you can. You
What?
can. Yeah.
You have to go look to the gold guys or something, or jewelry store.
I went to the bank yesterday because I got a notice from them
Oh,
that said,
Oh boy, this ought to be good.
because I have nothing with that bank except the safe deposit box that I pay a rental for every year, modest rental.
What's in the box, bro?
Well, you're going to find out.
Really?
So I get a note from them that says, unless you open a checking account with us or open a savings account, and they didn't want much to open it, from now on, you can't have a safe deposit box here.
Really?
And so I went and closed it because I thought to myself, I don't even know what I'm going to find in that thing. So I went yesterday and I closed it, and there was a certificate of membership to Indian Hills Golf Club from 1989.
Okay.
For no reason.
Why would you
it
say-
meant no money
Right,
to
I
me
was
at
gonna
all.
say.
What in the world?
Some silver dollars,
What years? Does that
all from the
relevant?
70s.
Okay.
And some gold coins. I don't even know what they are. There's 4 of them in a little velvet case.
Oh, sure.
For all I know, they're
From
worth
Tom
something.
Gallagher?
No,
Yeah, they are. They are. Sit on them.
Okay. And get this, a Muhammad Ali autograph addressed to the CP.
Okay, that
Really?
is cool.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have framed that and put
She's
it?
going to. No, because I brought all this
good.
stuff home.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But then,
So the gold coins are gone already. They've been spent.
I'm sure they're out of my sight.
She went to the grocery store
Yeah.
with those yesterday.
So, Mrs. Kravitz, who's waiting on me, she says, well, you have 2 keys for your box, and then I match. Yeah, I said, I know how it works. She said, well, where's your second key? I said, I was never given a second key. I've only had 1 key. And Mrs. Kravitz said, no, you were given 2 keys.
Wow.
So that's news to me. So she said, you have to pay $25 lost key fine.
Oh, that's BS.
So I laughed. I said, come on. Oh, you had 2 keys. So I gave her the 25.
Yeah, 2-4.
And I meant to look today. I wonder if that other key is, in fact, in my possession. And if it is, I'm going back and say I want my $25.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, all that.
Damn right you
I'm
are.
going to find Mrs.
Are they,
Kravitz.
are they going broke over there or
I don't
what?
know.
What's the deal?
So anyway, that's my.
That's it? That's the only contents of the box?
I don't even. Yeah, I don't.
Well, in 1989, was that in fact your prized
No,
possessions?
because I read it and it said this means nothing to you in terms of money.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a stock certificate.
No, it wasn't a
of-
stock certificate.
I need to clear something up because I've had, I think what it is the wrong picture in my head for years. Were you, once you were given the box, did they put you in a sealed room, a private room, and close the door?
Oh, like they do in the movies.
She
Yeah.
said, do you want a closed room to empty the box? I said, no.
What would they allow you to take that box home?
No.
Because I saw a guy in my local bank walking into the bank with one of these boxes the other day, and it was substantial. It was a 2-handed big
Really?
ass box.
Well, maybe they do. I don't know.
I'm
I have
wondering-
nothing of value, apparently.
I'm wondering
Apparently, I thought.
what did he get out of that box and is now at his home?
Right. Gold bars.
GLers, I want to talk to you about Bradshaw and Bryant personal injury attorneys. If you're like me and a lot of other GLers, you might not know what to do if you're ever injured in an accident. Insurance companies and adjusters can be tough to deal with. They can be ornery. They don't set out to be, but they can be ornery. Well, let Bradshaw and Bryant handle it. Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant has a team. They're going to explain your rights, represent you, and they'll get you through that tough time. I hope you're never in an accident, but if you are, call Bradshaw and Bryant, 800-770-7008, or go to minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Your case evaluation, of course, is free to you. And please don't be a part of the problem. Don't text and drive or drive distracted. That's just common sense from Bradshaw and Bryant.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Nuts and bolts of life is right on, and that's where Walker Roofing comes in. I'm sure you're not thinking about your roof, but you will after that hailstorm, or maybe if you're going to try to sell your home and they say, geez, that roof's been up there for 25, 30 years. It's well overdue. Well, that's when you call and you get an estimate from Walker Roofing. They've been around since 1938. And yes, the Better Business Bureau gives them an A+ rating. They have 24/7 emergency services, which I hope you don't ever have to use. But whether it's commercial roofing, residential roofing, or siding, you're going to feel safe and comfortable with their team during the entire process. Why? Because they're GLers. They've been with Garage Logic for a long time. And I will tell you this, that they run the business just like a common sense garage logician. They're not pushy. They're not going to force you into anything. Call them or have their number ready, 651-251-0910. Whether it is that repair or storm damage, whatever the case may be, again, commercial or residential, 651-251-0910. Better yet, go to walkerroofing.com and tell them you heard it on Garage Logic.
Angie Craig is making some news.
I'll say.
By saying that she's not going to seek the DFL convention victory this weekend. I guess both the DFL and the Republicans have their endorsing conventions this weekend. She's not going to. She wants to win it in the primary. So if I'm reading between the lines, I think what she said is the party activists who show up for these endorsing conventions, about 1,500 of them, she suspects, I could be wrong, she suspects that Flanagan will get their endorsement.
It seems that way, yeah.
Yeah, and that, which is just a shame, but not surprising given that the activists are a very integral part of the DFL machinery in this state. And so here's Flanagan, totally unqualified, horribly incompetent, offers nothing to the public, and has been complicit during the 8 years of fraud. She'll get the nomination, presumably get the nomination. But then Craig is betting or hoping that she can win the primary election. Yeah. And if I have to put myself in the shoes of a DFL voter, I would hope that Angie Craig beats Flanagan in the primary, because Angie Craig, I think, despite her political leanings, is a far more sane DFLer than Peggy Flanagan.
And GLers, if you're now on fire because of what Joe just said, consider this. Flanagan has got the endorsements of Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, Keith Ellison, and many other far, far left-wing members of the Minnesota legislature. So basically, we're just, like we always do, picking the lesser of two evils.
Doesn't this also have a lot to do, because I would guess Tafoya's going to get the nod from the Republicans. This has everything to do with fundraising, correct?
Oh, yeah, and by the way, I left that out. Craig has raised far more money than Flanagan.
No, I think that it's an example of the infighting that's taking place within that party.
The DFL.
There's I don't even think Craig is the lesser of two evils. I don't think she's an evil. I think she's a...
Who fights for us more, Flanagan or Craig?
Well, Craig's a fighter. She's battle-tested.
Right. She gets on the four-wheeler.
She's battle-tested. She'll drive a four-wheeler from here to Hastings.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's fine. But no, I think Craig is a better voice for Minnesotans sane Minnesotans than this Flanagan, who would be the darling of the activists who have voted for the people who have taken us down the wrong path. And Flanagan has been helpful in taking us down the wrong path. And it's almost as though she is expecting to be anointed, which to me just means the DFL has no desire whatsoever to reshape themselves. They have no desire whatsoever to clean up the mess they've made.
So you're saying we almost owe it to her for her to get this office?
The activists probably look at it as this is we can get her in there, and then it's business as usual.
Yep.
Let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. Flanagan has raised 1.35. Craig has raised 2.1. Do you think that's a reflection on the voting base, or is that just who they're sucking up to as far as corporations and big deep pocket donors? What does that mean?
It could mean that Craig has just worked harder than Flanagan in trying to raise funds. I was reading today, she's been all over the state. She's very keen on getting her message out. She, too, is making the mistake of pretending she's running against Trump, but she's going to be – you'll hear far less from her about that than you would if Flanagan wins. She has nothing to offer Minnesota. She's never done anything. So she'll be saying, I'm your savior, I'm running against Trump, and then the people who vote for the people we're stuck with, they'll eat that up.
By the way, I have not heard back if we've been accepted for the Ilhan Omar town hall event, in which she also is running against Trump.
Let's review that. Yesterday, there was a press release from the Ilhan Omar office that said she's having a town hall meeting tonight, and to discover the address, you had to RSVP. So we did.
Here is your latest Ilhan Omar report on Garage Logic.
So we used my name.
Yep.
I'm a Minnesotan.
Lifelong.
Yes, and we got no response from them. So I don't know where it's being held. We did our best to RSVP properly, and no follow-up email has come in from the Ilhan Omar camp.
And is that meeting tonight or tomorrow night?
Tonight at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
Are you going to be around?
I told you I have an 8th grade graduation to attend. Otherwise, I would attempt to be there.
That's
but
too
I don't
bad.
know where it is.
Yeah, if you're accepted, then they'll tell you where it is. It's a top secret meeting.
Apparently, I have not been accepted.
Nope, we have not.
Have you ever heard of a town meeting that the location is top secret?
No, I didn't.
That kind of sounds
Well, she doesn't want
different.
anybody there that might ask her real questions.
Exactly.
I hate to do this to you. I really, truly do.
But you're going to do it anyway.
I want you to know that. I really, truly hate to do this to you. Mm-hmm. We have a bit of breaking news. This is from the New York Post, and this is about 38 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. And I know you don't like to be sprung.
No.
Unlike Jesse, who wants it fresh.
Yeah.
Speaking of running against Trump.
He's handing it to me.
Kenny, watch the mayor's facial reaction.
Trump's team is pushing for a new $250 bill with his face on it. But there's a big catch. Key administration officials are pushing the Treasury Department's Bureau of Engraving and Printing to design a $250 banknote, the Washington Post reported. Should the Treasury Department move ahead with the plan, it would mark the first time a living person's face was slapped on a greenback since 1866. The $250 note would be a nod to America's 250th birthday.
America.
Mm-hmm. Under the Thayer Amendment, which passed in 1866, it is illegal to put the likeness of a living person on official U.S. currency, bonds, or other financial notes. Nonetheless, U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach and his top advisor, Mike Brown, push for development of the new bank vote because they have microscopic testicles, with Beach giving staff mock-up designs in August and September. Yeah, you get Trump's mug on there along with...
Is this real?
Scott,
Kenny?
No.
I've got the story in front of me.
Washington Post is the first one, but I don't have a subscription, so I had to print it from the New York Post.
Director of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, Patricia Solomine, reportedly protested to Beach and Brown that there are legal and other hurdles the agency needs to clear to make a new banknote. In other words, this is against the law.
Bah!
She had told them, we're not allowed to do this. We can't progress any further. And all the stakeholders have not even met to discuss the next steps. A source said currency takes 6 to 8 years to produce a new bill, particularly one of such high value. Well,
Can I say something before we spiral out of control?
Yeah.
This is Canada. This is Greenland. This is the Gulf of Trump. This is
distraction.
This is no. It's just bullshit.
Well, of course it is.
There's no reason to get bent out of shape on this.
No, there is.
No, in a month
because this is
will be
against the
forgotten.
law, and he wants it.
Joe, in 1 month, this will be a distant memory. This is nothing.
Multiple Democrats have introduced...
This is something you're going to get yelled at when you get home about. This is one of those things. This is nothing.
I see what you're saying, Ken.
This is absolutely nothing. Let's stay calm. We've been having fun so far.
No. See, you're reading this wrong.
Let's not spiral into what's about to happen. Thanks, Chris, thanks for derailing the show, Chris. Appreciate that.
No, let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
He wants this to happen. This is right up. This is right in there with the reflecting lake, as he calls it, the arch and the AAA arena, whatever the hell that is, on the lawn, and he wants his mug on a $250 bill. Now, the only thing you have to stand on, Kenny, is that you actually think these saps that work for the government will follow the law. I think they'll figure out a way to not follow the law.
You're not hearing me.
But Kenny makes a good point.
What's his point?
That all of this is bullshit.
So
none of this,
meaning it won't happen.
None of this will happen.
All right. I can be calm with that. All right. That's fine.
It was sent to us by a couple of different listeners.
Would anyone like to make a bet?
$250 in a Trump bill. No, I'm kidding. I don't got that kind of cash.
Either does Trump, but it's our money.
Right.
So he just takes it.
But I do, because Kenny said this a while ago, and I do think he's right. I do think part of him does love to get others going, whether it's social media or things like this. So that does probably play a significant role in a story like this.
Well, it'll be cool. If you think this is not going to happen, I'll go along with that. It's just distraction.
But I also think it's kind of funny because
BS.
It's kind of funny.
I've seen the mock-up of the bill. It looks like something he really wants to bring about. But I'll be cool. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. It ain't going to happen.
All right.
That's cool. I don't really care. One way or the other. 2 + 2 = 250. How'd your garage door make it through the winter?
Pretty good.
How's it going to make it through the heat? I love the heat. See, I hate winter so much, not only because of what it does to garage doors. I just don't like winter, so I'm never going to complain about a warm day. Ever. Ever. Catch me doing that, and you'll have caught me doing it. If your garage door didn't make it and you need a new door, Precision Garage Door has the doors. Models for every budget. Increase the value of your home with a new door, save energy, provide better security. The designer comes out, you go through the book, bing, bang, boom, you're getting a new door. In fact, right now you'd get a $400 trade-in credit for your old garage door when you purchase a new garage door from Precision Door. If your door's fine but you want it tuned up, get a safe and sound package. And let the Precision Door guys throw a 25-point safety inspection at it. Make sure that baby's lubed up and is quiet and is working like it should. Book online at precisiondoormn.com, precisiondoormn, one word.com, or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate, or book a Precision Door safe and sound package.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Let's talk about North American Banking Company. Banking done differently since 1998. And you know what? Way back then, they decided to create a better banking experience for you, for your family, but also for your business. So if you're thinking about starting up a small business, check out my friends at North American Banking Company. They are locally owned and operated, and here's why that's important. That means all loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. They are not sent out of state. So listen up. That means you're going to be able to solve problems quickly and also expand your business with confidence each and every single day. You can check them out online. It's nabankco.com to learn more. And you know what? They can offer you all of those other options as all of those other big national banks, whether you're looking to buy a home, finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been thinking about. Their experts make it easy. Once again, it's nabankco.com to learn more, with 6 convenient Twin Cities locations to serve you. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender, and what would normally occupy the John Haidt newscast today is also brought to you by our friends at North American Banking Company. Joe?
With the resignation of Chief Brian O'Hara, the assistant chief, Katie Blackwell, is now the de facto chief. They threatened to have a great search and bring in candidates to become the police chief, and I personally believe that'll be a struggle to get. I'm sure whoever they get will be qualified. I'm just not sure whoever they get will be qualified to be a police chief. They might find someone qualified to acquiesce to a Marxist city council.
Yeah, no matter. And I'm going to guess that the mayor's going to want, law and order and a real police chief.
Right.
But it's got to go through the city council's approval process.
Seattle just named a new police chief. Well, actually, a year ago. But he came from Madison, Wisconsin. I bet he. That's
a jump.
Well, I bet he was what they were after, coming from a town like Madison, Wisconsin. So anyway, Katie Blackwell is now the chief, and this is causing her background to pop up into the news again. She was a controversial figure following the Derek Chauvin trial. She previously sued Alpha News, in particular Liz Collin, who we've had on the show.
In fact, we had Liz on to talk about this lawsuit. Yeah.
So this Blackwell, who's currently the acting chief, she sued Alpha News and Liz Collin and others over reporting tied to the documentary called The Fall of Minneapolis and Liz Collin's book, They're Lying. Hennepin County Judge Edward Wall dismissed that lawsuit, ruling that multiple challenged statements questioning Blackwell's testimony were substantially true. The documentary's core message was that Blackwell's statements conflicted with MPD's policy manual.
Correct.
As part of that case, 14 current and former Minneapolis coppers signed sworn declarations saying they believe Blackwell perjured herself while testifying during Chauvin's trial, a fact that Alpha News attorney Chris Maedel drew attention to on social media yesterday. A total of 33 officers signed declarations saying the restraint Chauvin used during the George Floyd incident was trained by the Minneapolis Police Department. Wall, the judge, also wrote that portions of Blackwell's testimony could reasonably be interpreted as incomplete or misleading by omission. Following the dismissal, Blackwell signed a declaration affirming that all of Judge Wall's findings were accurate, true, and correct, and agreed to pay $75,000 towards Alpha News' attorney's fees. The controversy surrounding Blackwell, I'm reading from Alpha today, extended beyond the courtroom. In April of 2025, Representative Paul Novotny, a former police officer and current chair of the House Public Safety Committee, filed complaints against Blackwell, who was in charge of the Minneapolis Police Department Training Division during the Chauvin trial. Representative Novotny submitted a complaint to the Minnesota Board of Peace Officers Standard and Training after learning about the 14 officers who accused Blackwell of perjury. In other words, during the trial, Blackwell indicated that, no, we don't teach that. We don't
Correct.
We don't do that.
Correct.
The Minnesota Post Board, whose members are appointed by Walz, ultimately took no action on the complaint against Blackwell. I don't know why they would not have. Representative Novotny also submitted a complaint with the Minneapolis Office of Police Conduct Review, which closed the case with no discipline.
Which is unfortunate.
Alpha News made multiple inquiries to Eric Misselt, executive director of the Minnesota Post Board, seeking comment on whether Blackwell had ever been evaluated for placement on a Brady Giglio list. I don't know what that means.
Nor do I.
No rookie to have looked that up, and no height to look that up.
What do you need?
Brady, B-R-A-D-Y dash Giglio, G-I-G-L-I-O. Brady dash Giglio list.
Got it.
Well, I wonder what that is.
Potential impeachment disclosure. That's what I'm looking at right here.
Huh.
Okay.
Refers to 2 United States Supreme Court decisions that helped protect the right to a fair trial guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
So we don't know if she was ever placed on a Brady Giglio list.
She is not popular among the police officers, the men and women of the Minneapolis Police Department. I dare say, these are Kenny's words, that she's universally hated among the staff.
I don't know anything about her.
I only know that from talking to different Minneapolis police officers. Yesterday we talked about O'Hara. Boy, we found some interesting stuff in his background, and our guest was retired detective police sergeant Ken Tidgwell. And we're going along just fine, having a wonderful, interesting conversation, and I brought up Katie Blackwell. His face instantly turned red. He really doesn't like her, and he really has a lot of problems with her, and I believe that he represents a big part of that staff. I've also been trying to develop a relationship with a Minneapolis police officer, and I'm going to keep his name out of it. He doesn't need to be known in this situation, but I asked him 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday morning, what he thought about O'Hara's resignation and all that. And he told me, and he was actually a fan of O'Hara, but then he started talking about Katie, and I just want to read what he said to me in the email I received this morning. I personally am concerned about who they've selected for interim chief. I find it ironic that they terminate O'Hara for misconduct and select Blackwell, who is alleged to have committed perjury. Arguably, this is just as bad, if not worse, than what O'Hara is alleged to do. Hopefully, Chief Blackwell will lead like O'Hara did, but I can say she is not popular among the rank and file. If she leads in a way that makes things miserable here, more people will leave. And he goes on and on, but I thought that was interesting, coming from a current Minneapolis police officer.
You know, it occurs to me it's tough enough to be a cop.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Can you imagine the intramural BS that must take place?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble with this person, because that person might talk to a person who's going to get the ear of an assistant chief, or I hope I did the right thing here. I'm sure I'll hear. Good Lord, they're facing unknown situations all day long, and they got all of this secretive BS happening behind the scenes. I don't know what Blackwell has done to incur the wrath of the rank and file. I don't know, all other than perjury.
Yeah, it's all about the trial. Her testimony, a lot of people say, and I can't disagree, her testimony convicted Derek Chauvin.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, she hasn't been charged with perjury. And I don't know why. It's because I'm
But a
traffic
situation
guy,
like
not
that,
a lawyer.
it kind of plays into our working theory the last decade or whatever it's been on this show, where no one hates a bad cop more than a good cop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we kind of brought that to the forefront during the George Floyd situation, but it's true. No one hates bad cops more than good cops.
Yeah, and she said, I wish I could remember her exact words, but she said what Derek was doing was not taught and not in the manuals, when in fact it was, and she was one of the people teaching it.
Yeah.
Well,
so
how did she get away with this?
Exactly. And that was the question I asked Ken yesterday, and he's just as perplexed. You know that Derek was pretty much convicted before the trial even started.
He was convicted because of that video.
Yeah, yeah. And they disallowed the other video. They had police body-worn camera video that showed from different angles, and it wasn't the same. It didn't look the same from the back, and none of those videos were allowed in court.
I'm confused here. Now that we're into this, I better try to get us out of it. I'm confused as to why Blackwell has suffered no consequences for this.
Absolutely.
Perjury.
Absolutely.
Now, the judge.
He talked in circles, Joe, in that Alpha piece.
Well, yeah. Here's the judge, Hennepin County Judge Edward Wall, dismissed Alpha's lawsuit.
Her lawsuit against Alpha.
Yeah, dismissed Blackwell's lawsuit against Alpha.
Yep.
Ruling that multiple challenged statements questioning Blackwell's testimony were substantially true.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait now. The guy dismisses the lawsuit, ruling that multiple challenge statements from multiple challenge statements questioning Blackwell's testimony were true.
But if you keep reading, you go down a little bit.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
The documentary's core message was that Blackwell's statements conflicted with MPD's policy manual. Is true.
Yeah.
Wall wrote.
Yeah.
So they're saying everything Blackwell said that was true. No, everything Alpha said was true. And the documentary's core message was true.
Yeah.
Wall said.
Yeah.
As part of the case, 14 current and former coppers signed sworn declarations saying they believe Blackwell perjured herself while testifying, a fact that Alpha News attorney Chris Medell drew attention to on social media. A total of 33 officers eventually signed declarations saying the restraint Chauvin used was trained by the Minneapolis Police Department. Wall, the judge, also wrote that portions of Blackwell's testimony could reasonably be interpreted as incomplete or misleading. But then he dismisses the suit.
Yeah.
And as a result, the only consequence Blackwell apparently has suffered during this confrontation is she had to cough up $75,000. Blackwell had to sign a document affirming that all of Judge Walls' findings were accurate, true, and correct, even though his findings seemed to indict her. But she said, yes, he's correct. And as punishment, she pays $75,000 towards Alpha's attorney fees.
Mm-hmm.
What? I'm confused.
You have a judge friend, don't you? You should call him off the record, find out what he says about this. He doesn't have to be on the air. I'd love to hear what he has to say, though.
I don't have a judge friend. I got a defense attorney friend.
Oh, I thought you were buddies with
I was great friends with a judge who, unfortunately, we lost a couple of years ago.
I'm sorry.
And he would have laid this out for us. In any event, Katie Blackwell is your new current Minneapolis police.
Yeah, and the moral of the story is, as far as I can tell, none of the cops under her trust her or like her or want to work for her.
Well,
They're going to have a hard time attracting officers to come work for the department if she is in charge.
And by the way, they already had a big problem with that. And this will play right into the theory. Be careful what you wish for here.
Well,
not saying that O'Hara probably shouldn't have had to be, should have had to leave the job, but
I would also imagine Blackwell has certainly thrown her hat into the ring to be the next chief. She'd just soon get rid of the temporary label. She probably would like the gig.
The thing with O'Hara, Chris, is I learned a new term yesterday, jacket. He came with a big, heavy jacket from New Jersey. That means your personnel file.
Yeah.
And there are 5 million stories about what went wrong in New Jersey with O'Hara that were all completely ignored when he was hired.
Why?
So, why indeed? So the behavior he's been exhibiting with favoritism and weird sex stuff didn't start in Minnesota.
Okay.
I wonder how Mrs. O'Hara is feeling about this.
Well, she is a Somali, and she lives with their child in New Jersey.
She doesn't run an autism center, does she?
Kenny, I haven't had a chance to listen to the show yet. I am going to.
It's an eye-opener.
But it was that, how much of a role did that play in O'Hara being hired here in Minneapolis?
What do you mean?
The fact that he was married to a Somalian woman.
Oh, that's a great question. One I didn't ask. I don't know.
Because it would have been a box that would have been checked here in this city.
Now that you bring it up, it had to figure in somehow, right?
Yes.
He had the only police chief in the history of police chiefs that has a driver. His driver is somebody he saved from being fired or disciplined by pulling him off the line and putting him under his charge. And this guy is O'Hara's roommate. He lives with him, which is unheard of. And he is also a Somali.
Well, Chief O'Hara apparently can get along with the Somali community. He's got personal reason to, right?
Pretty close with the Somali community, apparently.
Hey, guys on the job, you need a new truck, get to Rosedale Chevrolet. They're a business elite dealer. I got that down.
Attaboy.
Rosedale Chev at 35C and Interstate 35 in Rosedale. Well, they're called that because they have the best selection of work-ready inventory in stock. Start it today, drive off the lot. They got 1500s, 2500s, 3500s. They've got low cab, forward, medium duties, express cutaway, and express cargo vans in stock. They've got stake trucks, medium duty Silverados in 4,500 to 6,500, express cargo vans, dump trucks, full size. They got flatbeds. They've got plow trucks with or without sanders. Whatever job you're in where you need a reliable Chevy truck, Rosedale Chevrolet has guys over there with a combined 75 years of experience in the truck business. You're going to get a great deal, you're going to get a great truck, and you're not going to have to wait for it at Rosedale Chevrolet. I've seen the lot. It is full of every imaginable truck you could ever need. It's rosedalechev.com, and it's right there on 35 and County Road C in Roseville.
Here's a guy who's on his cell phone, Joe Souchere. ProfessionalTurf.com is the answer to your lawn and landscaping related woes. Log on, get signed up, and you'll be well on your way to having the best place on the block. Let's start with the landscaping division. They're going to make that embarrassing front yard that's all overgrown and yucky and that rainforest in your backyard. They're going to make them the envy of the neighborhood. They can show you what the finished landscaping job will look like before they even start. All the designers certified by the Minnesota Landscape Association, and they specialize in virtually everything landscape related, and I mean everything. If I listed it all, we'd be here for another 5 minutes. I mean, virtually anything you can dream up, they can make it happen. And you know what? You can see all their previous work and schedule a free in-person estimate, all by going to ProfessionalTurf.com. Now, let's talk about those weeds, the bare spots, the blight. Have a ProTurf lawn tech come out for a free estimate and put together a program made just for your conditions. All the weeds, the dandelions, the broadleaf weeds will all go away. The bare spots will fill in. You'll have the best lawn on the block. Yeah, of course. I should mention this every time, but unfortunately I don't. It's absolutely safe for the environment and guaranteed for superior results. ProTurf specializes in curb appeal and improved morale. They can do it for you. Just log on to ProfessionalTurf.com.
Hi, Ken.
Joe left the room.
Joe has left the room. I wanted to ask you a question, though. Hi.
I'm right here.
No, it's okay. You were occupied by something. But when I asked that question about O'Hara, and I didn't know if that's what you were going to go with here, I do realize that that's not something. What is it? It's the employment disclosure something or other.
Right.
So you probably can't ask that question. But I would have a hard time believing that maybe wasn't part of the selection process. I guess so. I wanted to make sure I clarified that.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know for sure, but we learned so many stunning things yesterday. Stuff that Coles has been sitting on for a long time because it hasn't been verified. He actually received an anonymous letter from somebody within the department in New Jersey specifying all the things that the chief did wrong there.
Oh, wow.
And of course, Jay couldn't go with that. I mean, it's fun information. And then at one point, Jay was called to a meeting to pick up some documents, like something right out of the Watergate movie.
Oh.
A police officer handed somebody he knew a whole bunch of information. That person had Jay come downtown, drive into an alley.
They meet in a parking lot?
Almost, Joe. A gal came out of the back door of a building, handed him an envelope, and she left, and Joe's there, and Jay sped away. And, of course, he couldn't reveal any of this, but it all came out yesterday, and it's all weird sex stuff.
I don't want to know.
And it's all favoritism, and it's just fascinating, and it's funny. It's not funny isn't the right word. It's a miracle that he lasted as long as he did.
To completely veer away from this, apparently everybody in the world has autism.
Yes. Yeah.
You played for me an audio.
Would you like to hear it?
I would like to hear this because some of the percentages in here are going to blow your mind.
And we brought this up with Lisa Damuth on Tuesday.
Believe we did.
When Tim Walz was asked about this in front of Congress, I believe Nancy Mace, and say what you want about Nancy, had pressed Governor Tim Walz about the staggering statistical increase in spending on autism.
He didn't know anything about it.
He wasn't quite aware of it.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that.
Here's this is from yesterday from Fox News, because apparently, Joe, HHS is now launching a wide-scale audit of all 50 states' taxpayer autism programs due to rampant fraud. Now we head to the great state of North Carolina.
Now we'll audit all 50 American states looking for potentially massive fraud in the billing of autism treatment. This is happening now amid a recent explosion in spending on autism services. North Carolina alone apparently saw an 11,000% increase in the last 4 years. Why was that? Good question for Alexandria Hoff, live in D.C. Alex, hello. Good morning.
Hey, Bill, yeah, it is a good question because according to that data coming out of North Carolina, the use of taxpayer-funded autism services is significantly outpacing the number of children being diagnosed. So something's not right there, and it's not just in the Tar Heel State. A recent analysis by the Cato Institute found that in 5 years, Medicaid billing has surged in every other state that makes their data public for money spent on ABA therapy. It's applied behavior analysis, that's what it's called. For reference, Minnesota's ABA spending increased by about 51,000% since 2018. We all know what happened there. President Trump spoke on that yesterday.
You saw that with millions of dollars just being stolen. Everybody had autism. Everybody had autism. They said. It was incredible, actually. And I've just seen I see what they're doing. You haven't seen anything yet.
You know, it's not necessarily malice everywhere. That hasn't been proven yet. ABA therapy is considered a critical resource for children diagnosed with autism, but given its complicated billing structure, incentive to overbill, and influx of private equity-backed providers into that space, it's really being looked at like a gold rush. Audits so far by HHS's Office of Inspector General has uncovered $198 million in improper payments made in just 4 states, $410 million incorrectly billed. And examining this really depends on each state's ability to organize and analyze its own spending. That's why HHS is now deploying AI tools to double check that oversight and try to root out any possible fraud, Bill.
Okay.
Who loses here?
We
the
do.
Kids and the low-income parents who really do have autism.
The only people more interested in hearing that than us are the DFLers in Minnesota who can now deflect and say, see, we're not alone. This happens everywhere.
Oh, my God. I didn't even think of that. You're
That's
so right.
That's what they'll do.
Of course they will.
This is just a national problem.
And that's what it is. It's a deflection.
We're just part of a problem, and we're trying to help and solve it.
I have the numbers, the ones I was referring to with Tim Walz when he was grilled in front of Congress. This took place a while ago because I remember us talking about this. In the year 2017, gentlemen, the state of Minnesota's autism program repayments were just over $1 million.
We've done this a million times, but I'm glad for the review. Go ahead.
2018, that number jumped to just over $6 million. So that's a 600% increase. In 2019, that number then jumped again to $20,396,000. In 2020, that number again increased to $38 million. 2021, $82 million. 2022, $124 million. 2023, $189 million. And 2024, it jumped to $343 million in 2024 alone.
This is money stolen by the Walz administration.
Yep.
Did somebody have autism in 1940?
I'm sure.
Probably.
It's a neurological.
Yeah. Right.
What was it called, I wonder?
Well, we don't call it that anymore, and I don't need the hate mail.
Well, I'm not. I wasn't trying to be a smart aleck.
Maybe touched.
Different.
Yeah. It's all insulting. Not right in the head. Stuff like that.
But it sure seems to be afflicting more people than it ever has.
According,
or do you think that's made up?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
It could be made up.
According to both the Minnesota Department of Health and the Institute of Community Integration, 1 in 28, 3.6% of 8-year-old children are identified with autism in Minnesota. But that goes back to 2022 data tracked by the Minnesota Autism and Development Disabilities Monitoring Network.
I did read one. Let me get this in, Joe. The spike in autism rates rising significantly over the past 2 decades is largely driven by an epidemic of diagnosis rather than a sudden change in human biology.
Well, okay, I have a theory. It's the same theory I have about baseball. And I'm not being being unintentionally flippant, or I'm not intending to be facetious. But one of the things we've witnessed in baseball is that because of improved technology in diagnosing things, we keep finding new things wrong with people.
Yeah.
Our center fielder can't play today because he has a flex.
I remember the injury.
He has a, what was it?
I remember the injury because we were still on the radio, and there was a pitcher for the Twins, and you went nuts because we had never heard of it before. The injury was called thoracic outlet syndrome.
Okay.
What the hell is that?
And we basically, Joe said, so his arm's sore.
Right.
Because he's a pitcher.
Because he's a pitcher. But it was thoracic outlet syndrome, and you went nuts.
And
I wonder what Jack Morse would say about that.
Yep.
And 60 years ago, 70 years ago, 80 years ago, somebody said put some ice on it, and you were done, and that's all it was done. Now I have a discombobulated rotator 360-degree fusion in my left little finger. Oh, well, you better miss 5 games.
But obviously, the numbers Chris gave us there, that huge jump, that's not related to more people being diagnosed.
Correct.
That's related to straight out fraud.
But the answer they're giving you is the diagnostics are revealing more fraud. That's why they're cover-up excuses. Well,
Right.
and that there's part of that, given the baseball theory, that probably is true, rather than say, I don't know, your kid's acting up, or you got to read to him more, or do something. Now they're saying, well, this is autism.
But to go from $1 million in 2017 to 343,
it's fraud.
And for this clown of a governor to sit in front of Congress and say, I don't have the numbers in front of me. This all happened during your tenure.
No,
how do you not know this?
It's fraud.
Yes.
And the fraud was being allowed. We do know that.
I don't know if this is relatable, but I keep thinking about how we treat, for instance, little boys these days. If they can't sit still, if they can't concentrate, if they can't do whatever in school, we start with therapy, medicine, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Instead of just turning them loose, letting them outside with a shovel or a bike or a ball and burning that energy off and letting boys be boys, letting girls be girls.
Well, I
don't know if that's analogous or not.
Yes, it is. I certainly never intended to go down this road today, but and I'm not a whack job who's going to start practicing Eastern medicine, but I have issues with Western medicine. You go in and they say, your blood pressure's a little high. What's your pharmacy number?
Yeah.
Or you go in and they say, well, your cholesterol's a little high. What's your pharmacy number? Or you go in and you say, oh, man, my rotator cuff is really hurting. Well, here's the number of a surgeon, and then, by the way, give me your pharmacy number. Why don't these people ever think outside the box? If you go in and you say, you're otherwise pretty fit, you've got a little high blood pressure here, I'll tell you what we'll do. Why don't we do the following, and you come back in a month? One, I want a record, keep a little log of your daily walking. Try to have no alcohol for a month, skip desserts.
Drink some more water.
Drink a lot of water, eat some fruits and vegetables, and really get a lot of exercise in, and come back in a month and let's see what your blood pressure is. No, the first thing out of their mouth is
prescription.
What's your pharmacy number?
Yep.
Well, now take Kenny's little kid. He's a little wild little kid, and he's
rambunctious
and rambunctious, and he's jumping up and down in his seat. Turn him loose. Go outside and run around the bases in the playground 100 times.
Climb a tree. Yeah, fall down.
What the hell's... What's going on here?
What is going on?
What's going on here?
We sound like old men sitting on a bench in front of the NAC hardware, don't we?
Yes.
But that's a much broader topic that we really probably should get into and maybe even have a guest on, is the over-medicated state that this country is in.
I don't do medical shows.
I know, but that is a huge problem.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Let's do it the GL way. Let's talk about doing it and then not do it.
Or talk about it without an expert and we give the information.
No, it's like this, Chris. We should talk about having Fridays off. It's one of those things.
So half the stuff you read on social media about medicine is BS. It's somebody saying, you know, my grandma used to take pickle juice and she could cure a stiff neck with it. You know, all this kind of BS is on there all the time. But there's something to the idea that we have surrendered the idea that we are capable of repairing ourselves in a variety of ways without the pharmacy number.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Here's Kenny's plan. If your medicine is being advertised on TV, I ain't taking it.
Well, and have you noticed how many ads on TV are for medicine?
90% of them.
It's amazing. I don't even know what they're trying to cure.
Exactly.
They come up with these ads, and I'm wondering, what the hell illness are we talking about? Because the guy's playing pickleball, and he's sailing a yacht, and apparently he couldn't do that before. I don't know what the hell was wrong with him.
He's got a runny nose, Joe.
You know, the next thing you know, the guy's climbing Mount Everest. What the hell happened to him?
And then they go through the side effects,
and then
which
the
include
side effects
death.
will kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I smoke cigars. Just, you know, once in a while I get a cigar, and the best way to get a cigar is one that's fresh. You don't want to grab the cigar and have it explode like a prop in a magic show. Get it out of your Boveda humidor. These guys have come up with a brilliant new humidor. You don't have to fool with it. You don't have to fool with distilled water. You're not going to fool with sponges or magic beads or reading gauges or anything else. You're going to put the humidor pack in there, and that stays fresh for 6 months. You drop in one Boveda pack, you're done. No guessing. No checking. It holds perfect humidity for 6 months. That's my kind of system. And everyone deserves an affordable luxury in their life once in a while. We can't go out and buy Ferraris, and we can't book exotic golf trips to Pebble Beach, but you can have an affordable luxury with a humidor that keeps your cigars perfect. They're sharp. They're wood. It works. You don't have to fuss with it. Great Father's Day gift. Father's Day coming up this month, isn't it?
Yes. Well, no, in June.
In June. The Boveda humidor. It's traditional look with modern precision and zero maintenance. Your only task is to enjoy the cigars that are kept fresh in there. Shop now at Boveda, Boveda. Boveda Humidor, one word, bovedahumidor.com. I've been using these packs, by the way, for ages, but not in this new humidor. They're handsome. I think you were seeing a picture of it there. They're really, really great. Bovedahumidor.com. Say...
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
You know what? I'm sick of doing all the work for you guys, you GLers. I want you to start working for me. Tell me how you've been using your Bugs Be Gone. I have my certain, I tell you, when you're at the gas station, before you even put the pump in the car and do all that nonsense, spray your windshield down, then do your business, and then while it's pumping gas, wash them away with ease. The other way is to do it at home, spray the windshield down, and use the hose, blah, blah, blah. And then we had a GLer that stops and sprays. He opens his window and with a spray bottle, hits his windshield, and then uses the window wash. And now this week I had a GLer say that she just puts it right in instead of putting window wash in the jug under the hood, she just puts Bugs Be Gone in there. I thought that was an amazing idea. And it occurs to me, you guys you're way smarter than I am. So send me an email. Tell me how you do it. kolson@garagelogic.com. Meanwhile, the only thing I'm going to tell you to do is get to a store, either Fleet Farm, a big box place, your local Knack hardware store, an auto parts store. Stock up on Bugs Be Gone. If they have 4 on the shelf, buy all 4. You're going to need them. You're going to be so amazed that you're going to start giving them away to friends and family. You're going to make friends. I know I don't like people, but I can't help but walk over to a guy who's scrubbing his windshield at a gas station and offer him some Bugs Be Gone. I guess that's part of being a GLer. It's a wonderful product from Seafoam. It's our best friend in the summer. It's Bugs Be Gone.
The GL artist, Greg Holcomb, has moved to Florida because he's no dummy. And he just sent me information regarding the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference, which is scheduled for the weekend of June 13th at the Ocala, Florida World Equestrian Center. And it's called the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference, brings together some of the most recognized voices in Sasquatch research. And they got merchandise for sale and speakers and a vendor hall. And he said in Florida, the Bigfoot's called the skunk ape.
Skunk ape?
Now, I don't know where in Florida. Does Florida have enough trees left to even have a Bigfoot?
Sure.
Florida's pretty heavily developed.
But among the swamps and the backwater?
Yeah. Well, he might go to it because he's a believer.
Does he say, is it like Comic-Con where people dress up in costumes?
Well, he didn't say that, but my cartoon bubble has some very strange characters at this thing.
Definitely. And I wonder if you're okay. Is it okay to laugh and smirk and have fun, or do you have to be serious?
I would imagine for the true believers, this is a very serious weekend. Yes, you're in the back.
Having driven through Ocala a few times.
Isn't that in the
North Central?
Yeah, it's in the middle of the state.
No, isn't it North Central?
Well, okay, but it's not on the ocean.
No. In fact, I was going to point out it has a national forest.
Okay, maybe that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they using that as tourism?
Joe, it's just west of Daytona Beach.
So here's the deal. Florida isn't weird enough.
No.
Right.
We got your Bigfoot. We are a Bigfoot destination.
Only because they come to us.
Actually, I need you to do one thing, sir, before you do the alignments.
Yeah, tomorrow.
That magical time of the year where
we can't be here tomorrow.
That's right. We've got things that we have to take care of. So right now, you are going to do the following.
Well, I have the GLer of the week brought to us by Installed Building Solutions, and we're going to go with Chris.
Nope.
Gabe.
Nope. That's me and Gabe.
Oh. It's a note to you two. I see.
That's right.
And then read. Okay. This week's GLer of the week is Angie Eaton of Anoka.
Hi, Angie.
All right. Thank you, Angie, for being a town council member. Matt, here is the shipping information.
Nope. We just need to thank
Eaton,
Angie.
123 Main.
Nope.
No, not at 123 Main. Okay.
That's not my Angie from Anoka, right? Because she said if she wins, don't mention my name.
Okay.
Well, it might be. I have no idea if
we're
it's
going to
your
pretend
Angie
it's
or
not your Angie. That's what we're going to do.
Congratulations, Angie. You're going to get the big package of syrups and the whole deal.
By the way, I had a convert over the weekend. Masters Maples. We had a little camping excursion.
Yeah.
They said, you bastard. I will never have another syrup again. I said, I'm telling you, it's the best. It's the best.
Would you cook pancakes or something?
Oh, no. Bacon with the Master's Maples, and then we had waffles with the syrup as well.
Oh, chase us.
We were treated this weekend, courtesy of our buddy Ben and Master's Maples.
Chase us. Mm-hmm. Only because they come to us. All the way from the Traveling Lymans, who will be joining us right here in studio Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. That's right.
Now they're ensconced in Eden Prairie, Minnesota right now. You know, one of the things I'd like to know from them is, are they antsy right now? Are they happy being...
What are we doing here?
What are you doing? I mean, you're not on the move. Well,
Sure.
how do you handle that?
But if you're going to be trapped here, this is the time of the year to be trapped
Well,
here.
they're no dummies. They came home as the weather turned.
Right.
On this day...
Joe, today is May 28th.
Well, on this day in 1827, Dakota warriors shot into an Ojibwe camp outside Fort Snelling, killing several. Ojibwe warriors made reprisal attacks over the next few days, killing 4 Dakota. Although a peace treaty had been negotiated in 1825, sporadic fighting between the two tribes continued. On this day,
May 28th.
In 1859, now listen to this, anticipating a lecture by Baird Taylor, 300 passengers boarded the steamboat Equator at Afton.
We're almost done.
For a trip up the St. Croix River to Stillwater. However, 40-mile-an-hour winds forced water into the hatches and drowned the boilers.
What?
And Captain Asa Green and his crew were compelled to ground the ship near Hudson, unloading the passengers just before a wind gust ripped the cabin off the boat.
What?
The passengers missed Taylor's lecture, which was entitled Life in the North.
And they had to walk home.
Yeah, and they were, think of that, man.
And they were on the wrong side of the river.
How the hell do you get back across the river?
Wow.
Wow. On this day,
May 28th,
in 1866, the Twin Cities feted General William T. Sherman, who was on a tour of Army forts in Minnesota and the Dakotas as commander of the Division of the Mississippi. On this day,
May 28th,
in 1896, Minneapolis celebrates John H. Stevens Day. Stevens had built a house on the west side of the Mississippi River in 1849. And on this day,
May 28th,
in 1896, the school children pulled that house to a location in Minnehaha Park. Many of us were very familiar with that house.
Very much
Minnehaha
so.
Park,
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Know right where it is.
On this day,
May 28th,
in 1903, St. Paul's first automobile fatality occurred when a child was struck on Selby between Dale and St. Albans Streets. We don't know the make of the automobile or the name of the child. On this day,
May 28th,
in 1936, a statue was dedicated in the Ramsey County Courthouse, sculpted by Swedish artist Carl Mills and later named Vision of Peace. The 60-ton, 36-foot-tall, revolving onyx artwork cost $75,000.
Wow.
Boy, if Trump was doing that today,
that's my fault.
A favorite of his would have got at least $75 million for that.
We almost made it.
Yeah.
Almost.
On this day,
May 28th,
in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
Who'd we lose to?
What day?
May 28th.
On this day in 1944, the Millerettes got their first. They were in this yesterday. The Millerettes got their first AAG PBL win, beating the Atlanta Peaches 7-6 in Game 1 of a doubleheader at Nicollet Park. The Millerettes. On this day,
May 28th,
1974. Gordie Howe was named MVP over Mike Walton, who led the World Hockey League in scoring and points. But they gave it to Gordie. Mike Walton was a Saint. On this day,
May 28th,
in 2021, What else is new? Wild eliminated by Vegas in Game 7 of the playoffs. Oof. And Vegas swept Colorado and now awaits the winner of the Montreal-Carolina series. Unfortunately, Carolina is up 3-1, and I believe the Stanley Cup playoffs will feature as their finalists those two hockey hotbeds of Las Vegas, Nevada, and Raleigh, North Carolina.
Did I read that this is Vegas's third trip to the Cup final in 9 years of existence?
That's right, Chris.
I'm not biting on that hook, Reavers. I'm not biting.
It's true. That's true.
Wow.
And they'll get a lot of rest now because Carolina and Montreal play again tomorrow night in Raleigh. I'm anticipating a Raleigh win, and then you still have a few more days before the Cup would start, so the Vegas will be all rested up and ready to go.
I've moved on with my life.
Hockey's done to Kenny.
Yeah, it's over.
And I thank you so much for listening, GLers.
Do us a favor and join the nearly 21,000 subscribers on the Garage Logic YouTube channel, where you can watch the show each and every single day starting at noon. And you can also see full segments, video shorts, behind-the-scenes footage. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube, along with all of our social media channels. That includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And also, don't forget to sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today online at garagelogic.com.